Cruising McMinnville is here, and we're on the air here in MC 11 and 29. Glad to have you, Brian Erickson, along with Norm Ordez, for all of the fun, exciting action here tonight as people are going through and cruising through and waving, and it's a great night in Norm. It's something we've been waiting for all year long for the last 10 years or so.
Oh man, yeah. It's, this is a pretty cool event for McMinnville, and this is what small towns are all about.
It is, and the one thing that a lot of them do have in common is the act of going back and forth down Main Street or 3rd Street or whatever street you called it. Back in where I came from, grew up in Salem, it was Portland Road, it was commercial. Here, 3rd Street, I know in Idaho is something else for you.
Twin Falls, Idaho, it was Blue Lakes Boulevard. And no matter where you are cruising, it's cruising.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what we're doing today, folks. We are cruising up and down 3rd Street, and it's already started. The car show took place earlier today from noon to 5. And this year the cars were lined up all the way down 3rd, and it was a sight to see.
Dude, there's some beautiful cars. We came down early, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and there were some beautiful cars, definitely.
Yeah, there are some cars that you kind of looked at and just in awe, kind of like this truck here that, there's some money put into it. There's some work, a lot of effort. And then there's some cars that, people say, hey, I want you to see my car, which is really cool too.
Americans love their cars, don't they?
They really do. And the one thing that we all have in common is back in the day, and I'll say it, the mid to late 80s when I was cruising up and down Portland Road, it was whatever car you had.
Well, even here in McMinnville, we talked about shared stories when you were in college, coming down to 3rd Street here in McMinnville, and when I lived up above the Deluxe Bar.
Yeah.
Same thing. And so, it's Americana.
It really is.
At its best, and those, everybody knows about the movie American Graffiti and stuff like that. And if you're not doing anything this evening, if you're sitting at home watching, hey, come down, find a place to park, and you're not going to miss this. It's quite spectacle.
Not even coming down here and parking. Bring your car down here and drive through 3rd Street.
It's
As
open.
you can see, it's open. It's many different cars and many different types of cars. I remember, cruising my parents' car. That's what we had. That's what I had. And we'll talk more about the types of cars we had. But I used to have an 86 Dodge Ram van that fit like 14 people, and I would cruise it down the good old Portland Road, and that's the thing. It was cool. You'd come down here. In my 83 Ford Ranger in college, I drove through to see what the high school kids were doing, driving down 3rd Street here.
Back at the Dollar Theater.
Yeah, the Dollar Theater there, and that's what it is. And it's part of, like I said, Americana and just the fun. Look at some of these cars. They're just amazing.
Oh, and people drive around and they're all proud.
And they should be.
They really are.
And not only that, it's a history lesson when you look at some of these cars. I mean, you look at cars from the 50s and then the 60s, and there's a lot of people who are younger than us that they've never seen cars like this, and this is their first time to maybe be exposed to something like that.
Or do they have memories of dragging the gut? They have no idea what it is.
Right.
And so, yeah, you got cars 50s, 60s, cars from 2000, now, and we're watching a VW Bug come by with a mustache. And so, we got the cheerleaders down here on the corner. And
they are accepting donations.
Yep.
And you can bring it, and I believe the donations are going to YCAP. So come on down here, and if they do request that you do $5 in the donation, it's not mandatory, but if you're going through, it goes to a great organization that helps a lot of people. So you can come on down here and do that. There's also shirts down here you can buy.
Like $20, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think maybe we're going to get one after this.
There's an auction going on down here as well.
There is, and you can bid on one of the no left turn signs or the do not walk signs are down there. Yeah. So it's fun, and there's a great presence down here, and it's the cars. You look at this. You got the little Bug with the mustache and the luggage.
Yep.
And you've got so many different cars, which is the cool thing about being down here and just seeing it all.
Like I said, it's a history lesson. You got something coming down the street right now, right out of American Graffiti.
Yeah,
and so
you look at some of these cars, the paint jobs. It's just
it's immaculate. There was one paint job that was kind of sparkly, bubbly.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a homemade one, but it was really kind of cool.
Right, it was different, yes.
But you look at the black mat. It's the black. I don't even know what kind of 30 something going by. There, the black mat. You've got the bright shiny cars. A lot of them try to replicate the era that they were in.
Yes, yes. You know, and like you got like the 40 or 50 rat rod coming through, and the caddy going by.
Yeah, look at the interior on that caddy. I mean, it is sparkling white. I couldn't be in that one. I'd get it dirty pretty
Yeah,
quickly
we both would get dirty.
as it comes
Yep.
through here, and it's fun. You see the kids in there, and the kids are having a good time, which is what it's all about.
There
hanging
goes
out with
there goes
grandparents.
the Cadillac there. Dean Klaus there with the caddy driving by.
You got motorcycles that come on down here as well, and it's
Yeah,
not.
Troy Fuller here coming down with his motorcycle.
And it's just about everyone coming here together and just taking it all in, and that's the cool thing, what it's about. And you look, you've got a great presence with people directing you which way to go. There is a route that's definitely designed here, and they totally have that route set up, and follow that as you come through, and it'll be a nice little adventure and going through pretty quickly.
Tim Elliott coming by in his jet black Cruising McMinnville car. One of the main people here for this year. And so yeah, got more bikes. Got some bikes coming on, and you know, there we go with a Malibu.
And there is the car there. I believe that it is Tim in there. Can't see from this angle, but there's the logo. There's the logo from Cruising McMinnville 2018, and it is turned out to be something very cool here so far tonight. And it's still early, and the fun has just begun.
Oh, it has. It's not quite as hot as what it was last year either.
Nah, it's fun though. It's a good time, and you see these cars going through. And as I said, once again, the cheerleaders are out there. That if you want to come by and drop off a donation to YCAP, they will gladly accept that. And you can bring your motorcycle. Everything out here you drive though, you got to be careful. It needs to be street legal.
Yes, absolutely. Street legal. Police are watching.
And they are going through and making sure that you follow all of the laws that you're, supposed to follow anyway.
Yeah.
And so this is a good thing. This is Cruising McMinnville 2018, and glad to have you. Brian Ayers along with Norm Ordez. Norm, I want to talk to you about your cars. What did you cruise in back in Idaho?
Oh man, I had an old '71 Plymouth Satellite.
Oh, nice.
So kind of a knockoff of the Dodge Charger.
Okay.
And then and just cruising around, and other friends,
Yeah.
VW Bugs. Had a buddy, Kevin Van Utert, had a couple of VW Bugs, and so yeah, multiple cars, but we drove around in some clunkers, and had a good time, man.
I know one time we had a 71 Dodge Charger, whatever. It was the big ones, They've totally remodeled those things. And that was one of my buddies. He had a Volkswagen Rabbit, too. We used to go in, which is kind of fun. But, that's what it's all about, It's just going out here in the car you have. Won't even tell you about the Mercury Zephyr. I think I even cruised
really?
in. Yeah, it was definitely the family mobile.
The family mobile, huh?
Yeah.
I don't remember going through in vans. I remember going through, my dad's old Dodge step-side. He had a short bed with a step-side, and
Never anything as cool as this, though. I mean,
I'm looking and trying to find out, figure which one's my favorite car. I'm having a hard time
this
here.
one right here is just a Bel Air. It's going through, or just a deluxe, and it's a beautiful green, and it's a 1950 deluxe. I saw that on the license plate.
Yes.
But I don't remember people driving around the cool cars like that.
No. Yeah, you'd see a few, but not too many. And so, like I said, people take their cars pretty seriously. They're pretty proud of their cars now.
As Volkswagen goes through, a little Bug convertible. And one thing too that this event has, a lot of helpers, a lot of people this year volunteering, and that's what's really getting these people around a lot quicker than in the past. So I know they've been doing a good job of getting them through, and which has been kind of cool. Cool thing is you just see more cars that way.
Yeah.
And so we're definitely seeing that here today.
And it seems to be that there's more people spread along, setting along the streets this year.
Right.
So I think it's going down a little bit further this year than what it has in the past.
Yeah, definitely expanded out here, which is great. Glad to be down here in a great vantage point. As we said, many different vehicles coming through that some you'd expect, some you wouldn't. Not quite like the 1971 Ford F100 that I've been through.
Here comes an old Chevy Bel Air coming through. I don't know what color you would call that.
Orange and cream and creamsicle.
Yeah, creamsicle.
My guess. And go through it. You just look, and it's almost like going to a museum with all this art. You look, and there's like a car that's a cool, and there's another cool car. It's almost ADD kicking in, going through, because there are a lot of neat things, and even the cool cars that, hey, I've never seen something like that, which like that one right there. And some of these look like cars from some of those, like Cars, the Disney show.
Cars, yes, absolutely.
And that's where a lot of the younger people see and maybe recognize some of these cars.
And so I don't know, cruising was a big thing when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And so, but it was even bigger when our parents were younger, before our time. At least growing up in Idaho it was. And so do you remember hearing stories about cruising?
I know, I think I'm probably jaded because of the American graffiti, and stuff like that. And I remember that, but I remember cruising was a big part of my childhood. I remember my parents talking about cruising. I know my dad actually in Lebanon would cruise up and down the main. They actually raced down the main drag there, and he tells me, told me about the time he got pulled over and for racing. It's, you never forget that.
No.
But I think a lot of, like I said, it is small town Americana. A lot of it.
And it is.
And I think it's something that I don't know if it's as big anymore. I don't know if kids do it nowadays. I think they're excited about something like this because it's not something that happens nowadays.
What I wonder is like in the small towns, cruising was huge.
Yeah.
But your larger towns, like Philadelphia, for example, or did Portland have a cruise scene, back in the day? I know Salem did, but Salem wasn't your 150,000 population town back when you were growing up either. And so be kind of curious to see, people here having stories about like the big cities and see what they used to do with cruising.
Yeah, I know Portland did have a little bit just from friends that I'd heard from, but also a lot of those people would go to the smaller towns. I know McMinnville, being kind of central, would get a lot of people to come in and cruise from Portland and from Salem. We did it in Salem. We come up quite a bit and think, hey, let's do something different. We come to McMinnville and we'd go, because really this iconic 3rd Street that we have, it lends itself for cruising very easily.
And it is pretty iconic.
It is. Look at the color. I mean, that blue and that Silverado just stands out.
The wheels stand out, absolutely.
Just a reminder, you're listening and watching here, MCM TV, Comcast 11, and Frontier 29. Glad to have you, Brian Erickson, Norm Ordez for Cruising McMinnville. And we are having a great time. And some of these paint jobs, though, and really the lighting today with this cloud cover is impressive. It makes everything just pop.
Right.
And some of these cars, I mean, there should be batteries that light up these cars in some of them, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, the orange Charger just going by.
Right there.
Yep. So yeah, the blue is pretty. That blue Silverado is pretty impressive.
You look down there, you can kind of see it's just the reds and that everything is really just popping because of the cloud cover, the Falcon there, which has got like little beads on, whatever you call that, rivets throughout there. And even that silver car, almost like a silverish gray.
Continental.
It's
Tim Howard in his car.
Tim Elliott going through right now in his car. And once again, those are those red cars that we saw, and then that black. It's really cool what they do. If you could do any car today, let's say next year, you have a year to go out there and cruise. What car are you going to buy and work on for a year to get ready for this event?
Wow.
You can think about it.
That's a tough question.
I'll let you. I mean,
there was a military vehicle that rolled through here earlier.
Yeah.
That was huge. You saw it.
Yep.
Had a machine gun mount on the top and stuff like that. Maybe that. That was pretty impressive. I don't think we're going to see it coming down tonight.
You never know. It might end up coming through.
But that was pretty impressive. It was huge.
I don't know if it's actually called a tank or, I mean, it did say empty tank on the side. I don't know if it really is just because of painting on there, but That thing was it was massive.
It was a support vehicle of some sort. Yeah, it was huge. It was huge, and I could see you driving that.
No, I think if I had to answer my own question, it would probably be some sort of Mustang, or maybe even the Camaro that's coming up here, that dark bluish purple one. I mean, that's just a beautiful car.
That is a beautiful paint job.
I just, I don't know. That's probably going to be my bet. It's going to be something like that. Maybe even the Mustang style. I would say that color right there, though, would be something that I'd be okay in.
Dodge Charger. I would have to go with the old Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger. Okay, once you see it, pick it out, and we will. Look at that paint job on that one.
Oh, I know,
It's
kind of
psychedelic.
rainbowish.
So, and there's so many cars out here. I was lamenting earlier, and I don't think I even knew you when I had this car, but I had a '61 Plymouth Grand Fury 3,
Wow.
and it was the parents' version though.
Oh, okay.
Had 4 doors, and it wasn't very sporty, but that thing, it had some power. A lot of the cars had. We didn't care about gas prices. We didn't care about really. We wanted power back in the 60s. I didn't, but people did. And you're going to put in these huge engines right on cue as we have this car zooming through the Chevelle. And that's what it was. That muscle cars were built for the muscle.
We only had gas was 65 cents a gallon back in our time.
Well, at certain
Back in
times,
the mid-'80s?
I remember, early,
Yeah.
like 65, 66 cents a gallon. I remember that.
Yeah, so we didn't worry about gas like what we do now.
And I think the engines are different now. I mean, you don't hear the engines like now. I mean, it's, you have a certain motor company that has, pretty much an electric engine. You don't hear it's a
Right.
golf cart pretty
Yeah.
much going down the road. But there's still people who want that sound and that adrenaline
Yeah.
when you rev the engine.
And there is something about some thunder. You hear some of these older cars, and so we got a Nova coming up here, and my aunt had a Nova when I was growing up, and so I remember going out in that. I don't remember going out necessarily cruising, but I remember going out in it.
I
And
remember
so
this car right here is at a Bel Air.
that's a slick car.
Right in front of that. Is that a Camaro there?
That's Corvette.
But that the Bel Air, I remember cruising it. My buddy had one. He was one of the first guys that actually knew. They actually had a car that he was working on. He painted, and I say he painted. He'd have it, the primer done, and then he would take
Right.
it in. It was a beautiful car. It was like a '57, like Chevy, and that whole era.
Got a Rambler here.
That was what we drove.
So
There's a deluxe coming through your screen here. Beautiful color. We've seen that a couple times through here, and you've got even the Jeeps from today are very, very nice. It's fun, you just look, and you've got people driving their Mercedes on there. It's what it's about, though, and that's why we're here, and up and down 3rd Street, and just having a good time, bringing out the lawn chairs and taking pictures and just celebrating the good old days. And if you look down 3rd Street, where our vantage point is, that a little smoky down there,
Little
and
bit.
that's kind of what we're used to. But that's the way it used to be.
Something rebellious about cruising as well.
Yeah,
I think
I think
people
you're right.
people like that.
I think you're right. I think part of it is you see the sign down here. We've all seen it. It was put up back in the early '80s, mid-'80s, I believe. It said you cannot cruise 3rd
Right.
Street. It
Yep.
said 3 times within 4 hours
3
or
times
something.
within, yeah.
And that's well, I don't think it's changed. I don't think they have to enforce it because the cruising's not a big thing like it used to be, except for on a day like this.
And I think kids now they'll cruise 99.
Yeah.
If anything, and they'll set up like in the Izzy's parking lot or whatever. I mean, you see a little bit of it, but it's not to the extent of what it was when we were kids, when we were growing up.
And I think a lot too that nowadays when you're setting something up, Norm, is you're hanging out, you're talking to your friends, you're having a good time, and it could be in a parking lot later, down on the road. It's going to be at Alf's or whatever.
Right. And Alf's, back in the day was quite the hangout.
It was. It still is. You'll drive by there and you'll see people out there. Of course, the old Arctic Circle. There were people who used to be out there as well. I think one of the auto parts place does that now. And you'll see people there on Friday, Saturday nights just hanging out, showing off their cars. And when you get a car like that, that pickup, why not?
Right. We got a blue Chevy getting ready to come up here.
See, look at those lights just
On that
glare
V.
through there. Pretty cool. It's fun to see. There's a lot of different cars that, you know, I can pick any of them. You look at any of these. The next 20 cars we see, I think 10 of them would be like ones that you'd be proud of having the old driveway.
I'd up that number. But yeah, no, absolutely. You're absolutely right, though.
So there's something I do want to talk to you about also, Norm, is different songs. Is there a song that you remember that, you know, you would just go cruising, and there may be a couple songs that, hey, I remember that, or something you'd crank up the radio if you're cruising down the road?
You know, and you know me, I'm a music person, and so there are tons, you know.
Yeah.
I remember cruising to oldies from what my parents used to listen to. But I shared one with you last night, Summertime Girls by Y&T. Of course, you gave me a look
I had no
like I
idea who
never
it
heard
was.
that, but you know, Ronnie James Dio, you know, Holy Diver, and
Oh, Dio,
Rainbow in
yeah.
the Dark, and
Well,
you know, things like that.
Now, since we're talking about it, I'm going to go through. I pulled up a nifty list from Billboard, and here are, I'm not going to go through them all, but here's some of the top songs in 1958, okay?
Okay.
1958. Just a Dream by Jimmy Clanton and his Rockets. Bird Dog, the Everly Brothers. How about Little Star, the Elegants. Poor Little Fool by Ricky Nelson. And Nel Blue de Pinto de Blue, or Volare, by Domenico Madungo.
We all remember that song, Volare.
There you go. So,
Can we sing a couple bars of
no, I
it?
think we're good. So that's 1958. I think also in there, Rebel Rouser, Splish Splash,
Splish Splash, Bobby
by
Darin.
Bobby Darin. And then those are some of the things you talked about, trying to be rebellious a little bit.
Absolutely.
In 58, I think that was what to be.
I think it was more rebellion back then what it was when we were growing up.
Right.
And
right.
so, but yeah, you know, what about you? What songs do you remember?
You know, being in the early mid 80s, mainly mid 80s, I would say a lot of like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts,
Yep.
Bon Jovi, stuff like that. That's stuff I remember.
The old standbys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and there was like back then radio was quite a bit different than what it is today.
Right.
And so there would actually be like dedications and stuff like that. They would have like a 3 or 4 hour block during a Friday or a Saturday night to where they were taking dedications from the cruise. And so you would hear all kinds of stuff.
And you know, that even continued into the 90s. You know, I did work at a station in Corvallis that they did some cruising Corvallis, and they'd call up the station I'd work at, and I'd be playing some country hits for them as they're driving through. It was mainly the high school kids that were doing that. So, and I'm going to give you a few from the 60s, and we're going to jump around. I'm not going to do them all right now, but 1968, Born to Be Wild. Steppenwolf is still a great cruising song.
Yep.
Jumpin' Jack Flash, the Rolling Stones. How about, let's go, People Got to Be Free, the Rascals. And Hello, I Love You, the Doors. And Herb Alpert with This Guy's in Love with You.
Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass, yeah.
And Stone Soul Picnic, the Fifth Dimension. So there's, of course, there's classical gas too, as
Yes,
Mason Williams.
Mason Williams.
But that's a lot of the 60s, and that's, you know, you look it through, and it's kind of cool. You see some of these cars driving through here now, and you look, and that Thunderbird,
Beautiful.
and that's a beautiful car.
Beautiful car.
And you're thinking, that's some 60s right there.
Yes.
That's what that was blaring.
Yeah, I could see some Richie Valens being blared out of that one.
Pretty cool, pretty awesome stuff. And that's what we've got here at Cruising McMinnville 2018. And you can come on down here and check us out and just see what's going on, and just seeing all the people down there and the cars. They're moving pretty quickly. They're getting us through, and I haven't gone through it yet, but I will. Here when we're done, I'm going to jump in my nice sporty white car and kind of go through, and you look, and they're getting you through. They're getting the whole course down so you can get through it pretty quickly. And if you're a person out here just watching, you're getting to see more cars.
The flow is really good
Yeah.
this year, and like I said, it's going pretty quick.
It really is. And we are right across from the Circle K, so
There you go,
if you wanna
bright,
come
bright
out and
yellow.
wave hello. That would be great. I know people have done that, and they're going through, and you hear the occasional Norm,
Or Brian.
think red cheers or something. Come through. And there's a Ferrari that just went through the screen
look at
there,
this.
and look at this Mustang, bright yellow. It just kind of zooms through.
Yeah.
You look at the Mustang behind it. It's just pretty cool.
Here comes one of my favorites, the light blue Maverick coming into the picture here.
There it
we
is.
go.
And you know, you can buy that one if you like. It is
$7
for
grand,
sale.
I believe.
It is 7,000. I saw that. I think I would look good in that. So it is definitely one of those things that you know, you have to look at this one here. It's coming through. It's that see Rogers on it, and yes, it does.
Yep.
Machine work. It's a Ford, and it's an antique vehicle. I don't know if the 13 is a racing number or what, but once again, something we haven't seen yet tonight.
Alex Rodriguez.
And followed right behind it is that Ford. I'm not sure what that
Kind
is.
of an El Camino, kind of a knockoff kind of deal. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it knockoff, but kind of similar.
It's the trailer vehicle in that caravan, I think, there. So it's fun to see. There's a lot of cool colors which really stand out here, and just the vehicles. And there's an old car there is going through, and you see it all, which is kind of fun. And they're going through, and you've got the wood paneling that's like inside of it.
Yeah.
And,
1930s right there.
I got to show you. There's that one we talked about, the big brilliant blue.
Oh, that's
It's almost
beautiful.
purple. Tell you about my grandpa's truck. Someday I will drive it through this.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a 57 GMC. Might be a 51. As you look at that Impala there,
That is gorgeous.
wasn't as nice
Gorgeous
as
blue.
the one I had, but
What color was yours?
it was kind of a tan, fleshy, weird color. I think it was more sunburned.
Convertible?
No, it was the four-door. It was definitely not as sporty as that one. They go through. We are here on Comcast Channel 11 and Frontier 29.
Right in front of Circle K.
And you
Now
can,
look at this
check us
old
out.
Z28 coming up here. Look at that. That's old school. Smoking a Bandit.
It really is. 240Z going through the screen. And I had a buddy in college who actually had a 240Z that it was that color, but it had a lot of the rust and the primer spots that he hadn't quite finished. Yeah, but it was a cool car to be in.
I think almost every cruise had 240Z.
You think you had to. You got some guys going in newer cars as well. And there's a Ford just waiting to come through here. So also, you know, we've got lots going on. They've got stuff down on the, 3rd and Evans, right in the main area.
Yep.
You can buy shirts down here. You can make a donation, I believe, down there.
They got some food down there, I believe. Don't they?
I didn't see any, but there was some judging going on also down there. And so nice little gathering, but it is a great time. Definitely, you know, something you don't want to miss. You want to see it in person, of course, but it
Absolutely.
makes great television as well.
Look at this red Malibu coming into the screen right here. Look at that beautiful car.
It is very nice. And that's the thing, Norm, is this is one of these things that I would feel like I'd have to drive it a lot.
Yes, every day.
I don't know if I would want to. I'd be scared to half the time.
Well, you'd definitely be buying a lot of gas.
As the creamsicle colored Bel Air comes into the screen.
That's a beautiful car, though.
It is.
Look at that.
I don't know if it's original
The white
paint
walls.
or not. It's one of those
See,
colors.
that's something our parents probably cruised in back in the day.
55 is
Man.
what Jerry's thinking it might be. I'm not going to say that may date Jerry, but the earliest car I remember having, though, was probably a 71 Ford truck.
Yeah, I think my 71 was
Yeah.
the earliest one I had.
There's some neat cars here. The Ford F100, the that I used to have was it's nothing sporty like that one. It's just going through the screen. It was more of a just a standard truck. As
Right.
the GTO comes through, you just hear that.
Man, GTO is beautiful.
It just feels good, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Thunder on 3rd Street tonight.
So we've talked a little bit about music and stuff going on. Let's go through the 70s now.
Okay.
This is kind of where, me personally, I kind of perk up a little bit. You as well, I think. Number 10. These are from Billboard magazine. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. Still the same.
Okay.
Remember cruising to that?
That's a good song.
That's a cruising song is the question.
It is Bob Seger's cruising version, period.
The OJs used to be my girl.
Ah,
I think it's more of a
it's more of a high school dance
60s.
song.
Yeah, I don't know. A little before my time, I guess. Hot Blooded, Little Foreigner.
Yep.
Last Dance by Donna Summer. And one of my favorites, which I don't know why, but it's A Taste of Honey. Boogie Oogie Oogie. I just like saying it.
That's a cruising song. Yeah, absolutely.
Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street, the Rolling Stones, Miss You. And this song, Frankie Valli. We talked about this a little bit earlier as you and I were checking out all the vehicles down there in 3rd. Grease.
Yes.
It's another cruising movie,
So
really.
it really is, you know. And I know that you're not a big American Graffiti guy. More so, you're a Grease guy.
I am. I'm
And
more of a
I
Grease
love the show.
Grease is the
I
word.
love Grease. Grease is the word.
How about the Commodores with Three Times,
3
a
times
Lady?
a lady. I was gonna say Brick House, but
And then Andy Gibb, Shadow Dancing. So those are the songs that were being blared as we're driving through back in the 70s. I would say maybe my aunts and uncles were
maybe
into that.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite cruising age for me yet.
Probably some Peter Frampton in there as well. Some Ted Nugent, remember Teddy? You know. 70s. That was a great time
That was
for
70s.
music.
That was thinking
That was some-
78. This is the 78 list. So,
Good time for music.
oh yeah. Well, that's a whole different story if you want to get into music and the music of today compared to the music of yesterday.
Hey, look at this truck here, a little lower in the back there.
Got some flames. That's a look right there.
Got a little stogie hanging out of his mouth.
And you got to be careful going too fast into driveways in that thing. That's kind of the truck that I drove in, though. It wasn't lowered like that,
Huh.
but it is that type of that Ford, that almost that year too. I can relate with that one right there.
Can you?
I kind of like that. I like the feel of that. Had the gas cap there. I mean, that's
Yep.
got to be a.
Hey, look at this Bronco. I'm
70s.
surprised we haven't seen more Broncos here tonight.
It's a beautiful Bronco.
It is a beautiful Bronco.
We saw a black one, I believe, walking down 3rd Street earlier in the car show that took place between noon and 5 today.
Usually Bronco Nation is represented quite well at these cruising events.
Yes. So, of course, these events this year are doing a great job with having people out there directing traffic and leading you on the correct route to go around to make this thing go quick. And that's what they're doing, and doing a good job right now, because we're seeing a lot of cars and a lot of different people coming through here.
Right, and we're seeing, the car, a couple of cars multiple times. It's definitely flowing really well this year.
It is. We talked to some people who were here earlier, who were here visiting, and just kind of fell into what was going on here, which is kind of fun. They had no idea what was going on, and they were like, "This is kind of fun." As you see
All right.
a little Ford Pinto.
Yes,
there.
Ford Pinto coming up, and that's the Gremlin right there, my friend.
One behind it, or the Ford, or is it the
You
the brown
got
one?
it AC. You got the brown right behind the Ford
Okay.
truck. You got the Gremlin, and we talked about the Gremlin, about the AMC Gremlins a little
Oh,
bit.
that is the Gremlin.
That
You
is
are
the Gremlin.
correct.
Those are one of my favorite cars, like ever. That very well possibly could be one of my
Really?
dreams of cruising in. Absolutely.
What movie was that Gremlin in? Was that like?
Oh, man.
I want to say.
I honestly don't know. I don't remember.
There's some movie
But I'm sure that-
recently that had the Gremlin in it. I want to say like E.T. or some 80s movie.
It's always possible. I
Yeah.
mean, E.T.
I can't remember which one it was, but fascinating cars. I'll give you
Yes,
that.
they are. They are different. Any of the AMC cars are different. Hey, here we go. Talking about Bronco Nation.
Very nice, slick car there. Is donating some canned goods to the cheerleaders there. And just got a glimpse of one of the cars there with the number on, so we'll get that when it comes back through. Here's another Bronco. We talked about the
Bronco
Broncos
Nation.
earlier, and there
Yeah.
it is. Very nice. So wave there, and cherry red Bronco, dark cherry.
Dark Cherry. There you go. It's the name of band.
There's some. You see the.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, but this one here, you got the dog head coming out. And that's hilarious. There it is, the talking head, the dog, a fake dog, and oh, there you go. Get the arms up there. You're a star. You're a star. Just call that the crime dog. And here's the 52.
Now, what do you? We got a Jeep. Explain that. I've never seen a Jeep like that.
I know. I think that was the year where they had the. I don't know.
That's different. It's different.
That's what it's all about. Being different out here and having fun. Being in the car that you rode in as a kid, rode in as an adult or whatever, and that's what we're doing out
Absolutely.
here. And so you bring out your car and just cruise and have fun and wave, and that's what we're having doing here tonight. And if you want to come out here, come on out here in whatever vehicle you want to come out in.
Absolutely. There is a little bit of everything down here tonight. So, talking about cruising, you know, in these older cars, do you remember like cruising around with your grandparents? Not necessarily in like the cruise, but going to the mall or somewhere like that. Do you remember like a certain car that your grandparents had?
The Plymouth Grand Fury 3 that I ended up with.
And so like my grandfather had an El Camino.
Oh, wow.
And so we would take that everywhere. We would take that down in the Snake River Canyon and go fishing. And man, I mean, you know, air conditioning was the windows rolled down, and
Well, you had 455 air conditioning, 4 windows, 55 miles an hour.
that's right, absolutely. And man, you know, that El Camino, we love that El Camino.
My brother actually ended up with an El Camino, bought one, I think, when he was in high school, and drove that around. And it was still pretty cool back then. And kind of like that Jeep we saw earlier. You look at it, kind of had the El Camino kind of function.
Kind of. Here comes your flame. Yep.
As we look at some of the vehicles down there, glad to have you. Brian Erickson, along with Norm Ordez. Norm is waving to everybody here. You got the Ford Expedition there, kind of like that.
Yep. Followed by GMC.
Good stuff down here. You got the Bel Air going through, and that's what it's all about, man. This is fun. This is something I can do all day long.
Can you?
I could, just hanging out, looking at cars that, you know, I wish I had half.
Yeah. No kidding. And I would say half is probably pretty right on spot.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful cars out here tonight.
If you want to come out here, this is going to go on all night long. And I say all night, probably till 10 o'clock is when it's going to be officially over. We'll be on to about 7:30. But you can come out here and just kind of cruise the gut and have a great time here at Cruising McMinnville 2018. And, you know, I think it's something, if you haven't experienced it,
You
you're
have
going
to.
to have to make sure you
Yeah,
experience
you
it.
have to experience this. And so this is pretty cool.
Look at there. Not even have to be a car. It could be a modified bicycle.
Cruising the gut. Didn't have to say I have to have engines.
No, this is what we used to do. I mean, people used to cruise it in their bikes, and you could do that in a gut like this.
Yes.
Couldn't do it very easily in Portland Road in Salem.
Hey, there's that T-Bird again, Brian. Look
Nice
at
one.
that beautiful car.
And a lot of these people are in their cars that they may have had originally, which is really kind
Possibly,
of cool.
yeah.
I saw somebody drive through earlier, and the guy yelled out the window was driving, "Hey, this was his car when he was a kid." And so that was kind of cool. And older gentleman in the passenger seat, and so whether it was his son, grandson, or whatever, was taking them through and going through and showing them what it's like to cruise the gut up to maybe reminisce some old times.
There's a VW bus going by. I think, you know, that would be my all-time. If I ever hit the lottery, that'd be my ultimate car to ever get. My dream car
With the bus?
would be a VW van.
Man.
You know, it doesn't have to be anything, you know, too expensive now, but VW van. How about you?
You know, I'm gonna say I'm not really a car guy. However, I enjoy, you know, having nice. I'd probably be a Porsche 911,
Okay.
and it's probably gonna be like an '80s Porsche 911. As we see some guys picking up some speed down
Yeah.
here, which making me a little nervous here. And usually it's not that fast, but it is going through at a nice clip, so you're not gonna have to wait long to get through. There you go.
There you go.
Parents had a van just like that.
Yep.
We took that mini camping trips.
You got water on the back and gas.
Yeah, so I don't know if we had that far. But we had the sleeping thing up above, and
We had a red VW van that had the pop top.
nice.
And so, oh, here we go. Look at that beautiful car.
Great job. That's amazing.
Oh, complete line.
And you see the flames
Oh,
coming out
man.
there, if we can see them. Oh,
Wow.
just short of that, but that's an added feature, right?
That is pretty cool.
You have to add that one. You can smell that one.
You can smell
too.
it. It smells like 4th of July.
It's like smell-o-vision is what we've got going on sometimes down here with some of these vehicles. I know you've been waiting for more of my fun music trivia, Norm.
Yes.
Or not trivia, but just songs that were popular back in the 80s. 88.
Our time. Our
Yes,
time.
This is more our time. As you see the Mustang coming through here on Cruising McMinnville. Number 10 from Billboard. I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love, Chicago.
Chicago could have been one of those bands that were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah, I think they probably could have been. I think they were actually. I don't know about the 60s, but definitely 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Right.
Let's see, number 10, or excuse me, number 9. I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That. Little Sir Elton John.
Okay.
Eric Carmen, Make Me Lose Control. Now this is more mine. Number 7 here. Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child O' Mine.
Right on.
Breathe, Hands to Heaven.
I don't
Great
remember that
song.
one.
Oh, it's a great song. Now, I said I said Joan Jett, but I could have put Def Leppard in probably some of the best cruising music, because I remember cruising to Def Leppard because they were huge back in the 86, 87,
Yep.
88. Pour Some Sugar on Me. Great song.
One of the most overrated songs ever.
It's beautiful. Richard Marx, Hold On to the Night. We used to crank that in the dorm room here at
I'm
Linfield.
sorry. I'm
loved it.
sorry. We never cranked that one. Sorry about that.
George Michael, Monkey.
Another one we didn't crank.
Cheap Trick, The Flame.
Okay. Cheap Trick.
And then number 1 song, which to this day, when I hear it, I just crank it up until my wife cranks it back down, is Stevie Winwood. We'll roll with it.
Yeah, Stevie Winwood is good
Yeah.
back in the day.
He had that. He had Sledge, or what else did he had? Another one too. But Roll with It. is probably
Roll
his
with it.
biggest one.
Yeah, he had a couple of
It
them.
was fun.
You're
Good
thinking of
times.
Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel.
That's Peter
though.
Gabriel, yeah. But Roll with It, great song.
All right, Brian.
Okay.
So going to the 80s.
All right.
Okay,
Way
so
back.
if you had to come up with 3 songs,
Uh-oh.
and we're going to say 3 to keep it short, what 3 would you cruise to from the 80s?
Well, one's going to be Def Leppard. It's probably going to be
'Kay.
more of not that one. It's going to be maybe some Hysteria.
Okay.
Joan Jett. I love rock
You
and
do
roll.
love Joan Jett.
I do love my Joan Jett. And then I would have to throw maybe something in there by AC/DC, Back in Black.
Ooh,
That would
those
be
are
my
all,
3 songs.
all 3 solid.
Yeah.
All 3 solid
Yes,
choices.
Thank you. Yourself?
Myself, man, you know I'm
Just
going
waiting
to
for
come
that.
up with some random ones. I think Ronnie James Dio from back in the day.
Okay,
Holy
old Dio.
Diver, Rainbow in the Dark, get a little bit of the synthesizer stuff. AC/DC is always a safe choice.
Yeah.
Rick Astley,
Oh, never gonna give you
never
up?
going to give you up.
Okay.
Give it a little pop. I kind of like the little, Real Life with Send Me an Angel.
Okay.
Kind of some of the dance tunes from back in, but I mean, you can't go wrong with AC/DC, Def Leppard.
I'm putting them right into my phone right now. So
And that's absolutely
once
fine.
we jump into the car, it's going to be our playlist.
Well, you've seen my playlist,
I have.
and so it's pretty extensive. And so, it could be, the Pina Colada song on down,
Little Rupert Holmes.
Little Rupert Holmes.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
And so, yeah, it's random. Barbie Girl, by Aqua.
You do have an eclectic mix.
I do have an eclectic mix.
And the cool thing about some of these things is, you know what, whatever you're blaring, and that's what it used to be able, you could do that.
Right.
There was a cut down, though, I know, in Salem, is they used to cut down on the audio and the volume in the car. And, you couldn't blare it.
Right.
Good or bad, that's what it was.
And still today.
It is enforced, definitely. However, it's half the fun, isn't it?
What were you listening to coming in?
Today,
Yeah.
I'm going to show my age. I was listening to a podcast there, Mark.
Of course. Right.
Of course. I was trying to get politically stimulated and educated.
I was listening to a little Reckless Kelly coming in.
Excellent
Speaking of
talk.
Idaho boys and going back.
Well,
It's kind of dying down here a little bit.
it was dying down. I think it's so efficient now because they're getting them through pretty quickly. It does clog up down the way as you get past maybe towards the bistro a little bit.
Here we go, in 8052 with
It's the crime dog going through once again.
Yep.
It's kind of fun to see. And not only the cars, there's the crime dog still at it. He's like taking over the show. He never worked with animals or children, and that's why.
Yes.
Not only the cars, Norm, it's also the license plates.
Yes.
Keep a close attention and look at the ones that are different. And you can see how they've changed, and really from the old days where they had the blue or the yellow,
Yep.
even older you have the white. Now you've got the salmon ones, you got the wine country ones, you've got the tree ones. That's kind of the cool thing, is where you get to see how the license plates have changed as well.
Yes, and it has changed quite a bit.
Kind of cool. I mean,
It's
like
really
it's
cool.
almost
It's really
like
cool.
walking into a wall and having each of the license plates, but this is like a living wall here with all the different license plates.
Yep. We've got our van there again.
He's trying to hide, doesn't want to be on TV, it looks like. We'll have to point him out then.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the
Got his
sprinklers
sprinklers
just
came on.
next to us, which is kind of fun. Oh, this is great. Oh, folks, this is what it's all about. Come on down and have a great time. And it's almost like a rain delay going on now down here by the Cruising the Gut.
We do have a rain delay.
Yes, feel like a little Bull Durham going on right now.
Absolutely. And I got a rain delay story.
I'm sure you do. They're going through, honking, waving, having a good old time. And
GTO going by.
we're going to do the rain delay. Now's the time to do the rain delay.
Absolutely. What do you call that going by? A little TRO? Triumph.
Triumph, nice little car. As you can see, there is the little,
Yeah, it's
I would say traffic jam, but slowing down a little bit
It's a traffic
downtown.
jam.
But they've got people through that kind of quiet down in the middle here.
Right.
We've had people on our left who have all kind of moved out because of the sprinklers. Glad to have you here. I'm Brian, that's Norm, and you're here on MCM 11 and also Channel 29. So glad to have you here on Cruising McMinnville 2018. And a beautiful night for us. So if you're thinking about come on down because it is a beautiful night.
Oh,
There's no
gorgeous.
rain. There's no smoke really in the air. And nice little gentle breeze as the creamsicle goes by once again.
The only smoke you're going to have is the cruising
Yeah.
smoke, but
Pretty
it's
much.
not too bad right now. And so look at this beautiful car coming up. Wow.
Go through, and I still think I'm in awe half the time. Look at some of these cars. That Bel Air is just beautiful. That darkish purple. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be worried about driving that car to work anywhere else.
No.
It You don't think so?
No, heck no, man.
Huh.
Well, one, it's different for me because I don't have to drive a car to work. And so,
Well.
unless I,
That kind of puts a whole damper on the whole
but
discussion.
yeah, no, I mean, for you though, I mean, yeah, I can see it being a little nervous having to drive to the school
I think
parking
it's
lot.
not just driving. I'd be afraid that I would probably scratch it anywhere, even going to the store.
Yeah, yeah.
So they do have shirts down here for sale as well, and they have bumper stickers. If you'd like to get one and support them, you can definitely do that. $5 for a small one, $8 for a big one, and all that fun stuff. So Presley did chime in one of her favorite songs.
Okay, let's hear Presley's.
Her cruising song would be Little Red Corvette.
By Prince.
By Prince, yes.
Any Prince. Like, Prince is like my all-time favorite. And so...
You know they did find a whole bunch of music in his thing. As we look here, we do have a police stop as they are talking to a person in the vehicle. As they are out here and they're making sure that you follow all the laws and rules, and apparently this person did not. So they're going to have a discussion, and they want to make sure it's safe for everybody.
Yes, and they're doing a good job. It looks like they're doing a good job. I mean, it's been so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to make sure your car is legal. You have to make sure you don't do anything crazy. And so they're going to have a discussion. And
so back to Prince, though. I mean, I can't wait for that new music.
You may never hear it. You never know.
You never know. And I mean, Little Red Corvette, and I think of, like one of my all-time favorites. Every time the movie Purple Rain comes on, I have to watch it.
Terrible
which
movie,
drives, which drives my wife nuts.
She's
but it's like one of my all-time favorites. It's from my time period. And so Presley's chiming in again, by the way.
So really, Prince, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, Presley did say AC/DC, Little Highway to Hell, too, is one of her favorite songs. So. And really, the AC/DC of the 80s, anything you put on there is
a whole
good.
lot of Rosie.
As you can come out here and make a donation to YCAP. The cheerleaders are accepting it down here, so you can come on out here and do that as well. And they do encourage it, which is always a good thing.
Right.
So I would do it.
So we got, good old healthy family fun down here tonight.
Yeah.
And so, come on down and, if you walk by us, we're right across from Circle K. Just tell us hi, go over to Circle K, grab a hot dog and a soda, and check everything out. It's pretty cool down here tonight.
Everything's pretty much open down here as well, so you can come on down here and just walk through the downtown, because the downtown is open. Everything is open. It was closed from 12 to 5, but now everything is open. You go down here and just do your normal cruising, and you can go to anywhere you'd like. And they do have a direction or a path they'd like you to follow, but it takes you right through downtown, as they may say, and they will help you get through here, because you have a lot of people helping out making this event run. Got some tunes there.
So, some more music, Brian.
I want to get into the lowrider there. Maybe we can
Oh,
jump
look at
in
that.
there and
Look at that.
take a cruise.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we got to raise that one up a little bit. It's a beautiful truck,
Okay,
though.
so you're thinking more music.
I'm thinking more music. I mean, everybody can relate to music. And so, so we've talked a little Prince, we've talked a little AC/DC.
We go all the way to the 90s. We haven't done the 90s yet.
And so,
and that's where I think it ruins it.
before we get going on the 90s,
Okay.
so like a guilty pleasure song from you.
It's got to be something from Madonna. La Isla Bonita or something
See,
like that.
And I have
Being honest with you here.
I have a deal with Madonna, and one of my baseball songs is Madonna, and because it's just connects me to baseball.
All right.
And so, how about Presley? Does Presley got a guilty pleasure song?
She said no. Did you have one besides that, or did you say anything Madonna?
We already know
Okay, I know what you're thinking.
Barbie
of.
Girl with Aqua. We already know that, and so that is one of my all-time top 5 favorite songs, and which always changes, but Aqua Barbie Girl normally doesn't.
One of my all-time
So,
favorite cars right there. A little Mustang convertible.
that's a beautiful car.
Funny thing is, though, I probably wouldn't get that now. The car I want to get is behind it.
Yes.
You have no idea what's coming to you.
I do.
You'll see. That is a beautiful car, though.
Yes, it is.
And it's actually that Razor that was
Yeah,
going
it's
through.
not. It's going across the street.
There it is right there.
We could drag Fields on that.
You could. I think I could do lots of things on that. It's all the snow we get. I'd have
Yeah,
to
like we get a lot of snow.
come through here. The Z28 rumbling through.
It's starting to pick up a little bit here again. So there's all kinds. You know, you've got, you know, like the trucks rolling through, the crew cab club in Northwest. You know, and then you got some like, you know, coming up here with, you know, the ZZ Top kind of reminds you of, hey, and we haven't talked about ZZ Top cruising music.
No, I don't know. I don't know why we haven't. But that car that's with a couple cars before that, this one right here, is very much a ZZ Top car.
Absolutely. And ZZ Top is cruising music.
Could be, yeah, definitely.
LaGrange.
A lot of red cars going through here. It's 4 in a row that
Four
had
in a
some
row.
sort of red. And if you count the one
I think that's a sign.
across the street also, as you look at that one right there, which is a very nice, a lot of convertibles. And
Yes.
you know, you only have a few months really that you can drive a convertible.
Yes. Yeah.
This
Like
being one of the months we have.
July and August.
Yeah, I would say maybe if you're lucky, well, or unlucky this year, June.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've had a pretty hot summer.
Yeah, we have.
We've got.
You have another convertible right there that you look at it and just think, you know, how do you keep a car like that?
All right.
In that
So we got the
condition?
taco truck there next to the Mini's Super Hidalgo. You ever had tacos from there?
I think somebody's hungry.
It's pretty good, Brian. You need to try it.
I will. I have.
Have you?
I have.
All right. Man,
Going
there's some
through.
beautiful cars.
Some good stuff. That Ford there, you know, it makes you want to get a convertible. I mean, this is a beautiful time of year to have that.
Well, for me, I don't know. Man, I struggle. I like the Dodge Chargers, the old cars like that, the Novas.
There's your car right there.
That's we're gonna take that on our baseball tour.
You've got tacos and baseball on the mind, I see.
Well, when don't I have baseball?
Mainly
on the mind?
tacos. That would be a fun car to cruise in, though.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Take it into some of the
Look at that
different
bad boy.
places, and there's a lot of room in that thing, really. I've
For
never
one
seen
person.
anything. The guy made the joke coming through earlier that was serial number 0001.
One, which is probably right.
Pretty close to it. There's our crime dog once again. I couldn't read what it said in there, but it's happy. His ears are flapping in the wind like it should be. All right, we are looking here at some of these cars going by, and earlier today, you know, a little tape of some stuff going on downtown earlier during the car show. Alrighty, as we are back, and there are some shots and some video of what was going on earlier. Great, I mean that's what we experienced
Beautiful
walking
cars.
down there. A lot of great cars, and they're all lined up on both sides of the road. There was music, there was food. You see those?
Yep.
Yes,
Hot dogs,
good
Dodger
stuff.
dogs, whatever. Yep.
But there's a lot of stuff going on down there, and that's what the whole event is. It's one big day, one big celebration. And that was cool. The car show having down here kind of a nice wrinkle.
You know, it's nice to see the community come together. you know, and I mean, there's been some things that have happened recently, and you know, to see the community to come together, something like this, it's pretty cool.
And it was cool to see that video and just see all those cars and you know, I don't know how many cars we had in the past at the car show, but there was a lot of cars going from the actually from where our vantage point is here all the way down past all the way to 99. So it's kind of cool see that many cars and people going through. And that's the cool thing about having a camera out here and the microphone. They know you're here.
They do, especially the kids. The kids love it.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of the kids in there are just like, yeah, I'm embarrassed here. But a lot of them go through and they're waving. I think the moms are more excited sometimes.
So that was my stepson Connor's old robotics teacher, and so he's friends with her sons. And so I saw her this morning, and she was pretty excited. She got the car up and running for this. And so there again, it's a car that just sits and does nothing. But for this event, she went out and she got it fixed up and wanted to get it running for this event.
Well, that's the way to do it because, you know, why not? There's no better excuse than to be out here for this event. One car we won't, I guess you can call it a car, one car we won't see during the cruising here tonight was a gentleman who we talked to, well, we overheard him saying that he built his vehicle in 45 days.
Huh.
It was an old golf cart that he took sheet metal and something else and made it into a really a pretty cool vehicle that he had sitting next to his other small car. And it's not street legal.
It was pretty
cool. But it was very cool, wasn't it?
It was pretty cool. We could drive that around.
We could. We couldn't do it legally, and that's one thing. You have to make sure you are legal out here because they will discuss with you and make sure you are legal. And they're doing a good job. The McMinnville Police Department, they've done a great job here on this side, and they're just making sure you're legal and safe. That's all they care about, and they're enforcing the laws that they should. Be doing that, so it's kind of fun to make it a fun event for everybody.
The flow has been really good, and it's been pretty impressive this year.
If you had to buy a car, you got to get something like that to chrome it out.
I don't know, as we got a POW car going by. I don't know, like this Bronco. What about that Bronco?
It's got the chrome striping on it, though, which is very cool.
It's pretty slick.
It's very slick. It's a nice car, nice color. You've got to do it.
So,
no, right?
Would you?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking of, behind this red truck, we got a Nova coming up, the SS. I'm thinking something like that. Not necessarily that color. Maybe a darker color. Maybe a midnight blue or a jet black. Do you like the brighter colors, or do you like the darker colors?
If you're going old school with some of these cars, you got to do this bright orange.
No.
You've got to make it stand out. You've got to say, hello, I'm here, welcome to the show.
Cherry black.
Now, if you're going cherry black, you've got to make sure you chrome out everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like that Bronco that I liked earlier.
Right. No, you're right. You got to chrome it out a little bit. So my wife, she watches all these dress shows, and as they say, they bling it out. You got to bling it out.
I don't know if I'd go with the lights like that there, but I could probably.
That's a beautiful car, though. Look at that. Nice truck following behind.
It's one of those cars that the Galaxy that could definitely get up and going. You would not be left behind. As the little Mustang has got. I'm not sure what those
5.0.
are. They're pigs up there talking. And
little hippos.
There we go.
The white Lexus going by. Lexus. Yeah.
It's being funny there.
That was
one right over your head. I know. You didn't hear me.
Absolutely. You're a funny guy, Brian.
I know. Here's a puppy.
Aw.
Yeah, and a nice bandana. Star of the show once again.
Where's my bones? Where's my biscuit?
He heard you. Ears perked up and said, hey, I hear Norm's got a treat.
Yeah. Oh, Heller.
That got her attention. Good times.
That was a beautiful dog.
And a beautiful car. Look at that, 2 cars back to back. And there's my favorite Impala so far.
I like that blue.
See, it's once again.
I do like that blue. It does. That stands out. They do.
That is curb feelers on the back. You know, I didn't even know what those were, because we've never really had them. But
yeah, no, it makes sense.
You've got a vehicle of that length, and you're trying to park. You want to know where the curb's at.
There you go.
You scratch those wheels up, you don't hear the end of it.
No, especially if it's mom and dad's car, you know.
Trust me, I've done it.
Yes, we
that
both
was it.
have.
They didn't have curb feelers on the 1986 Dodge Ram van.
Hey, so we
That
got
saved everything.
Oh,
well,
man.
welcome.
I was going to tell you about McMinnville cheerleaders over here on the corner, and so they're accepting donations, and you see them passing out some stuff to the drivers.
Well, if you
as they're
donate,
going
you get a
by.
sticker.
Yes.
And so they're going to get you a sticker there, and there's that Impala.
That
Beautiful blue
beautiful
and
blue.
the white interior. As we go back
Yeah.
over here to the another El Camino coming up.
That's in the running for like my favorite car, I think. So how about this cheerleaders over there collecting goods, canned goods,
In money, and they
and
will
money. They'll wave at you.
donate. They'll take that money and they'll make sure that donation gets to YCAP. So come on out here and do that. They've been working hard all evening since about 5 o'clock. They've been out here a little bit before that. So come on here and donate to YCAP, and they'll make sure you get a sticker that you can put somewhere, maybe not on your car, but you can put it somewhere that you can remember the event. Versus a Washington license plate right there.
El Camino right there.
We go back to the license plate game. That's a game you should probably end up playing, because you get quite a few different ones out here.
Yes. You play license plate cribbage.
Or you can go to the car that doesn't have the license plate in the front. And on the back, however,
another 280Z.
of that 280Z is the yellow one we talked about, the blue numbers. And that Chevrolet behind it has the blue license plate with the yellow numbers.
Yep.
So see, we're marking them off right and left.
We could almost develop a bingo game out of this.
There's a car. There's a car from Cars, the movie.
Oh yeah, Radiator Springs.
The dock.
See, I would almost have to doctor that up and put a face, like a mouth up front.
Nice car. Like their grandpa driving his grandson around, having a great time here on Cruising McMinnville 2018.
Bootlegger's car right there. I see that as a bootlegger's car.
I think you gotta have the big trunk, right?
Places to hide stuff, yeah,
Yeah, fill it up.
absolutely. Hey, here we go. We got another Maya coming up here.
There you go.
There you go.
Is either a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle who's a little shy. He's gonna poke his head back out there. Does look like Maya there a little bit.
Maya's a little wider.
We're having a great time here. 2018 Cruising McMinnville. Of course, you can check us out here, Comcast 11 and Frontier 29. And also
Look at that
online.
VW bus right there. That's beautiful right there.
That is a very, very nice bus there, as we are getting down to the music here. You know, that's something like there, Norm. I couldn't take that on a trip. I mean, I would be
The
so
van or the
nervous.
car?
That van right there on TV.
Dude, we could like put a little hot tub in the back.
Worst idea of the night.
Not even. That's what they used to do down in Palm Springs during spring break.
We're
They'd
not
put
in
liners
Palm
in them.
Springs. However, that color combination,
It
the
works.
black, the dark red, and the chrome
It works.
striping, it's beautiful.
That is pretty cool.
That's going to one of my favorite cars of the night here.
I will not argue with you on that one. That is a pretty sharp vehicle.
Very, very nice vehicle as they drive by, and she's texting. So
Yep.
there's the Bel Air, the creamsicle, almost. Maybe yes, same one. The lighting a little bit different here as we've been an hour in the broadcast. It's going looks more white than in cream than it did earlier.
Right.
Got the military Jeep there.
So I think we drive that around right there.
Yeah.
We could have Presley drive it. We could sit in the back, have little flags up front.
I think the one right there is more her
So
style.
look at the
Bel
hood
Air.
ornament on it. I remember My dad had a Chevy step-side that had a hood ornament that he found at like a yard sale, and he put up on it. It was like an airplane, if I remember right. So he was all about the hood ornaments. Yeah, yeah.
See, back in the 80s, we used to put them on chains and wear them.
Well, we did that too, but you know, things were a little bit different in Twin Falls, Idaho, than they were in Salem, Oregon.
Well, that's true.
So,
now, the hood ornaments, a lot of them screw off,
yes.
and they'd have a lock underneath some way to
Yep.
try to keep
yeah,
them
we just
on.
popped them off.
A lot of them, they did pop off.
Yep.
I remember used to have a lot of the on the wheels.
All right.
Had the wheels. They had the stem valves, and we put chrome
nice.
stem valves on the wheels, which is kind of fun. Of course, then people would also find them fun and remove them.
Right. How about that blue right there, Brian? What do you think about that blue?
That is a nice blue. I do like that on that. Is that a Nissan?
I believe so.
And it is blue. I think it looks really nice here at night in the. Look at that. It almost looks like the one they.
It's got Scooby-Doo.
Just driving through, having a good time. It's a nice looking car, nice vehicle, nice ride. I like the rims, and that's kind of the thing now is you really don't accentuate the rims like you used to back in the day.
Right.
There you go. And that's speaking of accentuated rims.
Another convertible coming up. A couple of them.
And a bicycle, with a dog behind them. They're just going through.
Yeah, dog
cruising.
wants that ball really bad, man. Come on, throw it.
Just having a good time here on Saturday night, Cruising McMinnville 2018. Brian Erickson along with Norm Ordez and the crew here, and just having a good time here tonight.
This is the same guy coming up on the bike that he had a scooter, a 3-wheeled scooter that he rode through last year. And he popped the wheelies.
I like the memory. I do. I'm impressed with the memory.
Which is kind of surprising from me.
I agree with that too. But you remember that. So glad to have you here. Just having a great time here tonight. And all the people, dogs, bike riders, car drivers, you name it. Just having a good time here and cruising McMinnville. That's the best shot of the night right there. The dog is very happy with the ball.
Huh.
You never work with kids and animals, and that's why.
You could tell that dog is definitely a service dog.
Very well trained.
Yes.
Having a good time here, and you got to see a little bit different than most animals. People are used to dealing with something like this because it is different.
It is different. Yep.
A lot of smoke down there further.
A lot of smoke.
Pretty good.
A lot of
Some
fumes.
years it's been really bad. This year it has not. But you get down further, you can see a little bit. But it's the sounds, and you don't have the peel outs because they are illegal. That being said, I'm sure you'll hear a few tonight.
Here we go. Got a red Firebird coming up here. What about that red? That looks sharp.
I think really, I keep talking about the overcast and just how it's perfect for pictures and video. I think that just makes it right there. I mean, everything looks good right about now. We're kind of still in magic hour.
Yes. A Ford truck
there.
right there.
Before we get too far along, I don't want to be remiss and miss some of the 90s music.
Oh, of course. Let's get back to the music.
Well, the 90s.
Great time for music.
Really? I don't know what 90s you're living in, but
Nirvana,
some of the,
oh yeah.
Let me tell you some of the cruising music, though. Well, I'm going to skip a few of these because, yeah. How about Crush by Jennifer Page?
Okay, don't remember
All
that
My
one.
Life by KC and JoJo. Come With Me, Puff Daddy featuring Jimmy Page.
Huh.
Mariah Carey, My All. Sarah McLachlan. No? How about Usher, My Way? Too Close by Next. This is 1998 Billboard Top Cruising Songs.
Wow.
Shania Twain, You're Still the
There
One.
we go.
And Randy and Monica, The Boy's Mine. Like I said, 90s.
That's kind of a bad list.
That's 1998. You were good with it.
That's a bad list. So
1998.
98. So 98.
I'm saying 98.
I'm
yes.
thinking of Everclear and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Boyz II Men.
This is 98. You're back in 1993. So, since you like that list so much, we're going to skip to 2008. How about Cardinal Offshall featuring Akon with Dangerous?
Okay.
Rihanna with Disturbia.
Okay.
Natasha Bedingfield with Pocket Full of Sunshine.
Yep.
Chris Brown with Forever. Viva La Vida, Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Lollipop, Lil Wayne, and Static Major. And Rihanna with Take a Bow, and Katy Perry, I Kissed a Girl. This is 2008.
All right.
Now, I'm trying to get through these quickly, mainly because it's all bad music, I think, if you go past 88.
Some of it. Not all
However,
of it.
I want to get to today. 2000, and I couldn't get to 2018 because we're not quite done with the year. As we go down to 2017, Post Malone featuring Quavo with Congratulations.
Whoever.
We'll talk more about him later. Sam Hunt, Body Like a Back Road.
Okay.
How about Kendrick Lamar and Humble?
Kendrick Lamar's all right.
Imagine Dragons, Believer.
Okay.
See, these are songs we could get cruising to. Ed Sheeran with Shape of You.
Yeah.
DJ Khalid featuring Rihanna and Bryson Tiller,
There
Wild
we go.
Thoughts.
Rihanna again.
DJ Khalid again featuring Justin Bieber, I'm the One.
Hey, we love the Biebs.
No, we don't. And then Bruno Mars, That's What I Like.
Okay.
And number one, cruising song of 2017 from Billboard by Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee featuring Justin Bieber, Despacito.
The Biebs, man.
There you go. There you go.
Huh.
So we got through our list of cruising and songs to cruise through. Look at that thing right there. That would be a fun car to take a trip
What is
in.
that exactly?
It's a Honda something.
Is it a? It does look like a Honda logo.
It's a Honda something.
It is. That's interesting. That's an interesting car.
That would be a fun car to take on a short.
Hey, here we go. A
trip.
little Mini Cooper coming up here. Right there. Look at that.
Look at that bright red, just kind of. It's one of those cars that you're like, that is really kind of cool until you realize there's like 4 small kids in there.
Yes.
There's not a lot of room.
There we go, Brian. There's our car coming up right there.
Slingshot?
That is our car.
Yeah, I'm sure that you get it, and I'll watch you drive
You could you could ride with me. I'll let you drive it.
Thanks, I guess. I'd rather drive that Dodge.
So that
right
is
there.
like, remember that show Robin Big? They had a slingshot. And Robin Big, dude, that is like what I want to do. If I ever hit the lottery, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to hire you to be my sidekick.
Alrighty.
And we're just going to go out and have fun and do just random stupid things.
We could do that. We kind of already do that.
A little bit.
We kind of already do that, and people have already said we've done that. So there's a 59 Chevrolet. I act like I know my car's there, as it says it on the license plate. But the interior of that is amazing.
That's a beautiful
Look at that.
Impala.
It's just, and those rims.
That's a pretty car.
See, there's that chrome that you just like, wow.
That's got to be one of the best looking cars of the night right there, I think. Even if it's red.
Good time here, and we're having a great time here. Cruising McMinnville 2018, and just having a blast of all these cars coming through. And you can come out here yourself and cruise until 10 o'clock tonight. If you don't want to do that, just keep it tuned here. We'll be here till 7:30 on Comcast Channel 11 and Frontier 29. And we are here, Cruising McMinnville 2018.
All right, so we've been talking a little music. So ZZ Top has not made any of our lists. What about like Led Zeppelin? Led Zeppelin cruising music? I think so. Some songs.
Well, you have to take into account that a lot of these people, different variety of ages, and really, when was cruising probably the most popular? 50s, 60s, 70s, into the 80s would be my guess. I don't know. I think it could be. You could say that Led Zeppelin definitely is cruising music, but
Totally.
cruising up until when? And it just depends.
I think anytime.
You're looking at some areas might be country music.
Yes.
You know, I think there's certain things in music now, or genres of music that really probably never were cruising music. That being probably like classical.
No.
However, rap probably would be the cruising music
Rap.
of today.
Some of it. Yes.
It was back in the 80s. I remember cruising to the Beastie Boys and Run DMC back in the late 80s.
Big Daddy Kane.
So,
LL Cool J.
yeah.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different. It just depends on probably the crowd you're in, people you're with, and what you were doing and where you were. But that's the beauty is we all in that time frame. Most of us, I don't know, probably 75% of us knew about cruising or more.
Yeah.
We had that in common. That, hey, we used to drive around. What the goal was? Not quite sure. We weren't trying to get very far, but we're having a good time, and you know, that's what it was all about, and that's what it's about here today.
And no matter where you were, you know, I mean, cruising, you know, it's the same teenage language, you know, and unless you're growing up today, you know, they don't necessarily have it. But back in our day, in 50s, 60s, totally. I mean, cruising was what you did on a Friday and Saturday night.
It was.
You know, after a football game, what did you do after a football game on a Friday night?
You went
You know,
cruising.
you went cruising. You went go get somewhere usually for pizza, you know, local Pizza Hut, and then after that you would go cruising. So you'd hit the cruise about 11 o'clock, you know, and then some of us had curfew, and so, but then again on Saturday night you would hit it again.
Never cruised anything like that, Bill.
No.
I wish I had some flames coming out of my car. Maybe today. I wonder if it's something we can get installed. Maybe factory second, or I don't know. But that's kind of fun to see. And
That kind of scares me a little bit, though.
you look on the inside there, you can see the wood paneling.
I know,
That's
right?
awesome.
That car kind of scares me a little bit, though.
Well, that's what they used to drive, though, right?
Can you imagine driving that, though?
Cars now are safer,
Yes.
made differently, and back in the day, they probably said the same thing about, you know, those type of cars right there.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful car. Look at
American
the eyeballs
Graffiti.
in that one. That's awesome. You can see the eyes looking at you.
Look at that thing moving around.
That's great.
Beautiful color, too. Here's looking at you, McMinnville.
See up in the top left there, the little bumper sticker. Try to get a little peel out.
I don't think he tried. Yeah, you probably could get it done.
I don't know. In the past, I've known cars that tried to peel out, and sometimes you kill the car. That's nothing more embarrassing.
Well, I
though.
think that happened last year. A
Yeah, it
car
did.
died right in the middle, blew something because there was oil or something all over it. Yeah.
And there's your worst nightmare right there,
Yes.
the tow truck.
The tow truck. They wanted to have fun at the cruise as well. Why can't tow trucks drive down the cruise?
Well, the problem is if they're here just to have fun, great. If they're here to pick you up, you're not having fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at that 427 turbojet right there.
It's got a little bit of power, I'm sure.
Ooh, a little bit. That car can get up and haul, man. Look at that beautiful car. Wow.
There's a Chevy Malibu there, black with the chrome all around it. That's something you don't get nowadays. You don't get chrome on anything vehicle-wise, really.
No.
Not like you used to, anyway.
No, I chromed out my Workman at work, though. Got a little chrome. Well, I got chrome on the John Deere,
But nothing like this.
Nothing like
That's
this. Look at that.
the way it used to be the way they'd make them. And now, you know, you can't find a car like that.
no.
You try to, you're gonna spend some money. Or have to put a lot of time and effort into it.
Look at that beautiful, like, Miami Dolphin color car. I mean, how do you explain that? Miami Dolphins, right?
It's pretty close to it. There's the San Diego Chargers truck, their vehicle there.
LA Chargers.
Whatever they are. But there's the chrome once again. There's a beautiful car. And really, you know, we've mentioned about Magic Hour. We are at this Magic Hour. And it just makes everything more vibrant, and the blue's more blue, and red's more red, and the chrome more chromy, I
Yeah.
guess.
the colors are standing out a little bit more, including the trees across the street.
Beauty and
So
magic
it
hour.
is. It is a beautiful night here in McMinnville, down on 3rd Street, and man, it's been pretty impressive tonight.
It has, and there goes the Chevy pickup there.
That's a beautiful
You look
truck.
up close to it. It's green. It's really
Right.
You know, it's that.
It's kind of a sea green, kind
It's
of.
that magic hour green that looks blue, and just depends on what type of day it is. And it's just a beautiful truck, though. One of those things that, you know what, it looks different
Look at the Thunderbird.
if you paint it.
Wow, that's a beautiful car right there. Brian, would you cruise in that?
Oh yeah,
Look at that.
definitely. There we go.
Yeah.
This is what Norm is all about right here. His dream vehicle.
Dream vehicle. If I ever hit the lottery, that's going to be my dream car. VW bus.
Well, someday. There it is. You can see Norm cruising around in that. And you know, Norm, if you'd like to go over there and see if they take you, you know, you can stick your head out there.
Probably would.
Probably would.
Probably would. Trying to get rid of me already?
Well, you know, we can. There they are, having a good time, just having fun out there in a great vehicle, and there's something you can cruise in and just kind
Absolutely.
of go out there and make things happen.
All right, so we've talked music.
I want to talk more cars.
So
here.
let's talk like
We only have about 5 minutes left. so
moving
don't get-
movies. Like
Okay.
car movies. Like, do you have like we just had Trans Am go by, Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, that's probably a good car movie.
Do you have like, you know, like the movie Convoy?
My favorite car movie of all time is Duel. Steven Spielberg, Duel. Great movie, check it out.
Huh.
Cars being chased by a truck.
Oh
And a
yeah,
truck
yeah,
chasing the
yeah.
car,
That's
so.
you know, every time I see that truck, it reminds me of Denny Edwards. Yes, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we just happened to coming on a year anniversary of that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So hey, we are rounding down our time here a few minutes, and I want to remind you that you can come out here and bring your fabulous vehicle as well. And folks, it doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be mom and dad's car, the truck. It could be anything. And come on out here to Cruising McMinnville 2018. And that's what it's all about. It's having fun and just getting together and cruising downtown.
Brian's gonna be cruising here in a little bit.
I am. I think we're all going to jump in the car and just go and just see what it's about, which I know what it's about. And so we can do that. And I know you were excited about it, Norm. I know Presley's excited about it. And we're gonna have a good
Presley's never
time.
done it.
She's never done it.
He's never done it.
Came from an area that didn't have cruising. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And
I'm sure down there they had cruising of some sort. Maybe on the horses, maybe.
you know, that brings up a great question we don't have time to answer is, did they used to, cruise in a horse and buggy,
Well,
That's something we're going to get someday.
we will answer that and we will find that out. You know, I'm sure some parts of Pennsylvania, yes.
Here's a Bronco there. Hey, it's been great. It's been fun. The crew here at MCM 11, Comcast 11, Frontier 29 have been so great and just having a good time. And we're having fun. Ian Paulo, Phil Gozo, Kyle Donnerman, Thomas Sagers, of course, Jerry Eichten, the crew here of MCM TV. Thank you so much. You guys do a great job all year round, and especially here tonight as well. And Norm, I want to thank you. It's been fun, and this is something that I know there's been some talk about what's going to be like this year. A roaring success.
I think it was a hit.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. I think people are having fun. I want to thank you out there for watching us here on MCM TV. Great night and a great event. Cruising McMinnville 2018.
Let's go cruise.